G'day everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. With me once again is...
Megalomaniac. Hello, Internet.
Hello. So last week we didn't really do anything all that special. Although we did actually get to see two different locations that were based on places from the series.
Yes, I was just talking out my ass with that, but apparently it really was two places from the old show.
Yeah. Well, one place from the old show.
One place from the old show, one place from...
And one place from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was actually pretty interesting. Next, we don't quite have something that's really special. What is that he said? There's some civilian stuff that's getting all messed up, and where are we going to? Oh yeah, we need to go to Psi Valorium, I think he said.
Let's check the log.
Oh man.
Pi Canis.
Yeah, Pi
sector
Canis.
block.
Yep, here we go.
Just looking at the old map here is to the right.
Yep.
And away we go.
I'll get out of this nebula.
Nebulas are fine.
They are fine. There are some really awesome looking nebulas in this game.
They probably look better than real space. Up close.
Yeah, there's one really fascinating one that we won't see until about the end of the game, unfortunately, but it is really good looking.
Well, that one looks much better from far. Just like, most nebulas probably.
Yeah.
So are you following me, or did you,
No, I did.
Or did I upgrade my speed? Because remember, you were going faster than me last week.
Yeah, you did put points into
yeah, I did.
warp coils.
Yeah, maybe we matched.
Well, I seem to actually still be faster than you.
Oh, fine. Just go to Pi Canis and fight the Gorn.
The Klingons are willing to use any weapon available to destroy the Federation, even time itself. It falls to a small group of brave Starfleet officers to restore the timeline and rescue one of their own. Who controls this sector may determine who controls the war.
Time is kind of an imprecise weapon.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So.
Right, so we.
It's weird because when I popped in, it basically gave me patrol.
Yeah, I think that is actually where we wanted to go, but the autofly is a little on the weird side. Yeah. Okay, yep, so that is where we want to go. Patrol Zarantine system.
Okay. Surely nothing bad will happen.
Oh yeah, nothing at all. Oh, except for Gorn freighters attacking a civilian transport. Oh, that's nothing special.
This is Star Trek. You'd think civilian transports would be loaded for bear.
Not when they've got Starfleet backing them up.
Except they don't always have Starfleet backing them up.
Well, they should.
Okay, we've saved them. Now we take everything they have.
Yep. Oh, well, or we can activate some power satellite. Oh, yes, I remember this mission now.
And then more Gorn just show up and start immediately firing on them.
Yeah, because they're jerks.
like all lizard people.
Yeah. Like, jeez. Why
Except
must
maybe
you
the
be
ones
so
in Skyrim. I haven't played Skyrim, so maybe it has nice lizard people.
You should probably fix that omission.
Hmm?
You should probably fix that omission.
Eventually, well, see, they just announced I forget the specific term, but the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC, so I'm not gonna wait for that.
Yeah, you might as well. It's honestly in this day and age, that's something you might as well do.
Yeah, I've essentially regretted not doing it with all of Bethesda's other games. So.
Well, Bethesda's other ones, it's usually been a long time before they've done something like that.
Yeah, but see, I still haven't played through all of Fallout New Vegas yet, which I guess wasn't technically Bethesda, but because they don't have the DLC.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't counting them. Like I was specifically meaning if Morrowind and Oblivion have gotten one, it was way after those games came out.
Yeah. Oblivion especially. I need to clear my inventory. I should have done this before.
Yeah, seriously, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
Alright, so we got a bunch of satellites we need to activate in order to beam power to this ship. Oh, where's the other one for this side? It basically works out to being 2 satellites per side, and they reroute power from other locations. So that should be the ones on this side.
There we go.
And there's that. And then we have this last one just over here, guarded by a few more ships.
We can take them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Should probably go for the frigate first, but that wasn't range.
It doesn't really matter.
There we go.
I mean, they all go down fast enough as it is. It's just like that.
There goes that one. Okay.
There we go, so now that ship is getting all its power, so it should be just fine.
We have finished that puntastic objective.
Yep. Oh, well, now someone else is requesting some assistance, so we might as well warp over there and give him a hand.
Going by the name, it's probably Vulcans.
Yeah, probably. In fact, I think it might have specifically called that out.
Yep, Vulcan medical ship to POW.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it would be logical for us to help them.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get all uppity and crap.
Oh, these guys seem fine.
Some Vulcans are cool, others are elves.
Not. Yeah, that's okay.
I don't mean fun elves, I mean the snide, snarky, better than you elves.
Space elves.
The space elves.
Yeah, that is basically what they are.
Warhammer totally ripped off Vulcans.
Yeah, what a bunch of jerks. Actually, no. The ones in Warhammer are way worse.
That's true of like everything in Warhammer, though.
Pretty much.
Escort missions.
Yeah.
The thing that everybody hates, yet people keep putting in video games.
Well, they are logical.
I suppose.
I mean, they may not work very well in most games, but I mean, the idea of an escort mission makes sense in most contexts.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially this one.
Yeah, but
in
some games
generally they are not fun.
Yeah, it's just in some games it would be weird to not have any sort of escorts. As much as implementing them kind of sucks. At least the ones in Star Trek Online tend to be pretty good because the units you're escorting also tend to be invincible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always the case. There are actually a few where it is possible to fail the mission by letting the unit you're supposed to be guarding be destroyed.
Yeah.
But those ones, like it is, they not only are they rarer, but they are very specifically called out, saying, you need to keep this unit alive or else you fail.
Yeah. The worst one I can remember was from a Japanese game called Another Century's Episode 2, wherein you had to escort something that you were able to accidentally target and shoot at.
That happened in the first game in that series too.
Yeah.
Like
I never experienced it in the first game. I just remember it specifically from the second one because it was.
No, it was something that happened to me like often in the first game because there's a fairly early mission, and I don't really understand Japanese, so
yeah.
Sometimes I'm playing these games and I don't quite understand what the objective is, so I'm just going by the normal video game tropes. And so a cutscene appears, a character who is typically viewed as an enemy shows up, and the game automatically has you target him. So I destroy him, of course, and then the mission fails because I was supposed to escort him, not blow him up.
Completely logical.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense, right?
Yes.
That's one of the many reasons why I do not like that game series.
Still saying you gotta do a Let's Play of the PS3 one.
Oh, that game is so bad. That game is so bad. I still have footage that I recorded 2 years ago that I should probably put some commentary on because it is so bad.
So you agree with me then? Okay, let's go save some people.
Secure the outpost.
By shooting things.
Yeah. The game is bad.
I really didn't mean to fire the minigun yet. Now I do.
You keep doing that.
I know.
All the time.
It's because I am used to, in a lot of games, moving by holding down I'd say a lot of MMOs, running by holding down both mouse buttons. Whereas if I do it here, it fires my weapon.
Yeah, like here, well, I'm used to turning in space using both mouse buttons.
That too.
But for ground combat, or actually any sort of ground game, I'm used to remapping that to like one of the side buttons on my mouse.
I don't have fancy side buttons.
Oh, you should fix that.
Yeah, but those mice are expensive and they have wires.
There's wireless ones.
Those are even more expensive.
Wireless is bad anyway. Wireless is terrible technology.
I know, damn wireless for letting us access the internet wherever we want.
Yeah, but yeah, it's super bad. But I mean, like, just the idea that it has batteries that need to be recharged, like that is just. Is,
I'll just have tons of rechargeable batteries.
I just find that whole process annoying.
I got wise to the rechargeable battery gig after I bought a Wii.
Well, for that, I just went in. Yeah, I just went and got a like a battery charging station.
I don't think those were out when I got my Wii, and I'm being shot at, and I'm dead. Yeah. I should stop talking about wireless technology and do more shooting and not dying.
Yes. Stop being bad.
Good job, Olib. I think we ran into two groups at once there.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, now to get you. That's not you. Well, let's get you up anyway. That's my tactical officer, apparently. Yes, I'm so blind that I can't tell the difference between a female with antenna on her head and a Ferengi. A male Ferengi, I should say.
Yeah, and look at how obviously different my uniform is.
Yes, I know. Well, I saw like vague silhouette on the ground and went looking. Actually, I guess 30 years later, it's just funny in the context of the show that this game would have female Ferengi captains.
Oh yeah, it's far enough. Actually, one of the I would say major Ferengi characters that show up in the story is in fact a female captain.
That's good.
Yeah, and she actually has shown up already, but she will show up and be a little bit more of a figure in some later missions.
This is when we find out that it's Quark's sister.
No.
I don't think Quark had a sister.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
He had a
but
brother.
there are definitely other references.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, stop
we're into about 12 of them at once, I think.
There are definitely references to that group, though. Like I know there are actually the three that are on Memory Alpha. When you do the sets of quests for them, they reference Moogie.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, she essentially married their Ferengi president or something, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Less huge groups of guys, maybe?
That's where all the fun is.
Yeah, well, we haven't, actually completely lost, because apparently our AI commanders are more competent than we are.
That's just what they want us to think. See, I'm just being nice to them.
They want to defy the expectations of everyone who's ever played a video game ever.
Yeah.
And make the AI companions somewhat competent.
Well, because the AI companions in this game do kind of act as other players. Because the missions, like when you're doing ground missions, it is balanced around the fact that you have 5 players.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if you don't have 5 players, you have your 4 bridge officers with you.
Right. Was that something in from the start, or did they add that later?
No, that's the way it's been since the start.
That's good.
Yeah, it has always actually been a really nice touch. And, you know, Star Trek has always been about the away team.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always been an idea of a group of people going down on a mission and not just you, the captain.
I do like that if you don't have the full complement, you can essentially get a red shirt.
Generic security. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we have saved the day, and we need to go and help someone else.
Yay!
First. It's going to
talk to him, find out about Tarkanian syndrome.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure is also a reference to something that has shown up in the past.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not remembering anything specific.
Yeah, well, something will definitely be mentioned in the comments for this video. Anyway, we got another person we need to rescue, so let us head off and do that.
Starfleet captain's work is never done.
Yeah, just gotta keep going.
Till a bridge falls on them.
Well, thankfully it's not too far away.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have us, go halfway across the universe.
Well, it would if it was the next full mission in the series,
in the same.
But since this is technically the same mission, it's usually we'll just send you pretty close.
Someone just invited me to join a fleet with completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, me too. So in fact, it's probably the same fleet.
SOCOM.
Yeah. One thing that I think is actually neat, although they may have changed that in the last patch or one of the last updates, was if someone invited you to a fleet, it temporarily lets you see fleet chat, even if you hadn't accepted it yet. So while it was waiting for you to acknowledge the invite, you could see what people are saying, but they wouldn't have seen if you have joined the fleet.
Yeah.
Which strikes me as useful because it gives you a bit of an insight as to if the fleet is actively talking, it gives you a bit of an insight as to what they are talking about.
Yeah, whether they're Trek fans or a bunch of 15-year-old kids who spout profanity.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course there's something wrong with that.
Shh. Try not to offend all the 15-year-olds watching this.
But I can't say
I like how you didn't even reply to that.
I can't say I've seen that occur recently though, so it might have been something that they've patched out, unfortunately. Which is a shame because that was actually a neat feature.
One thing I do find interesting about this game compared to a lot of others I've played with is that there is an actual a progression that your fleet will make that gives you things.
Yeah, it's
compared to WoW or
neat,
something where progression is essentially what you've done in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a fleet starbase and a fleet embassy thing where players within the fleet can basically give resources to advance these things and do special projects and basically have which can be then used to get bonuses for the fleet, things like the ability to purchase special ships or special weapons and other equipment. It's pretty neat. It's unfortunately balanced around the idea of the largest fleets in the game.
Mm-hmm. So it can be kind of slow.
So the progression is very slow. There are some hard caps so that some of the things will only work. You can even if you have a full fleet of fully active people, you still need certain numbers of days in order to let them be completed, but it is still designed more for large fleets and not necessarily small ones. So some Klingons have invaded the ship, so we gotta go and clear them out.
Because this ship's security force is nothing compared to our crack team.
If they were taken by surprise.
Surprise! You're dead.
Yeah, well, we've taken these Klingons by surprise. Yeah, like the way they have fleets set up in this game is very neat. I like what they've done with it. I wish they've done a little more. I haven't bothered joining a fleet on any of my characters yet, mostly because I'm not playing consistently enough that it's worth anyone's while.
Yeah, I generally have the same issue in pretty much any game. If I join any type of guild or fleet or whatever the game calls it, it's people I know. So
yeah, and with games like these, that is really what you want to do, because the whole point of MMOs is the camaraderie. At the same time, though, when I was playing WoW, I joined a guild because of a few friends of mine that were in it. But I ended up becoming friends with more of the people in that game than I would have otherwise.
Yeah.
And it is for sure beneficial at times to just cold join a guild, but at the same time,
well, yeah, if you're getting into a game and you want to do all the end game stuff.
And part of it is just that
joining guild's fine, but generally I don't. That's not how I play MMOs.
Yeah, I'm also, for the most part, very anxious. Like, I am very introverted, so it is hard for me to just do that.
Yeah, that's part of it too. It's like, I don't know these people. I might not like them.
Yeah, and if I join, it turns out that I don't like these people, and then I feel bad to leave. So it's kind of a
part of it's
terrible
also just
catch-20.
obligation with me. It's like, if I don't really feel like playing on whenever the raid night is, I don't want to let them down or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoops. Hey, he turned into a big glowing green thing.
Huh. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good one. I need a new kit anyway.
Go for it. Let's talk to Captain Ayers here.
Oh, and that ends this mission. We'll just have to get out of here. And then report to Starfleet saying, hey, we rescued all the dudes.
We fixed everything that nobody else could.
We are the bestest
around. Nothing's ever going to keep us down.
Keep us down. That's right. Okay, and next, though, we have a pretty cool mission that, due to the way they arranged it in the storyline, has us meeting with a dude that we shouldn't really be meeting with at this time in the story. Because we're meeting with Franklin Drake, a member of Section 21. 21?
31.
31.
Assuming it's the same organization from Deep Space Nine, it's 31.
It is, yeah. So, the funny thing is that when this mission begins, you are expected to already know Franklin Drake, because we are going to see him for the quote-unquote first time in a mission
well into the 40s.
In roughly 20 levels, where we will meet up with him, and we will actually be able to say, hey, who the heck are you, and why are you doing this? And he will kind of talk a little bit about Section 31. And this mission is, I don't know if they've corrected this little peculiarity when they decide to rearrange this mission to this part of the timeline. But anyway, what I'm really getting at is that this next mission is the first mission of one of the featured episode series, which Star Trek Online started doing a few years ago. And what the featured episodes was it was a small set of 5 missions. Each mission came out once a week, kind of like the TV series, and they were meant to be short, self-contained storylines that were a little bit above the normal polish of the regular missions at that time. They've since went back and changed and added non-featured episode missions that were of the same quality. But one of the highlights of the time was that this was basically a set of missions that were better than the normal missions and provided some fairly unique rewards and had a weekly release schedule. Now, it's only 5 of them, so it's not like it's a long release schedule, and there tended to be months in between each one. In fact, as of right now, they've only done 4 throughout the 2 years since they've started doing the featured episodes.
Yeah,
and
you expect them to work faster. It's not like they're doing expansion or something.
Yeah, but these missions, because these missions also tend to have more unique gimmicks to them, they also tend to require a lot of work in order to do. And while the featured episode is running, it's available to all levels pretty much. There's still a minimum level for some of them, just based on where they are and what sort of stuff they're giving away in the mission. But for the most part, it's level scaled to everything. But once it's left the featured episode season and then has been added to the normal mission logs, it's given a minimum level dependent on where it is in the mission progression. In this case, it's basically level 12 because it's set in the middle of the Klingon episode series. So anyway, this one, and at the same time, it also introduces us to a enemy force that we aren't supposed to really have been introduced to for another 20 levels. So this whole mission is kind of out of its depth for where we are in the current storyline.
Yay for anachronisms.
Yeah, but whatever, it's Section 31. That means it's going to be weird stuff.
I am just equipping new goodies that I've gotten.
Oh, here we go. We can specifically ask him, "Hey, who the heck are you, dude?" And he'll talk a little bit about Section 31.
It's very funny that a top secret spy organization is just willing to tell us who they are.
Well, yes.
Way to suck at your job, guys.
But then again, they've never struck me as being super secretive, even back in Deep Space Nine. Like, they would regularly talk about themselves, but the fact of the matter was, whenever anyone decided to look, they would never find them. So it's kind of like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where I imagine if they had been invented several years later, like after 24 became a big hit, there'd probably be a lot more secretive story about them.
I always thought the episodes that were about Section 31 were kind of interesting.
They were. They showed basically a kind of darker side of the Federation.
Yeah.
Darker, but also necessary. Well, depending on your point of view, necessary. Depends on if you're okay with genocide.
And other things. Now, people might notice as I'm flying through this space here that the astrometrics overlay is red. That's because we're technically in a contested area, and this part is the area of space that I'm currently flying in is technically Klingon. This whole area, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it when we went to visit K7. This entire section of space is supposed to represent the all the PvP maps in the game, including some maps that are not necessarily PvP per se, or at least not PvP through the queuing system. But for all intents and purposes, if you do a PvP map, it is meant to occur within this sector block.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is primarily where the main thrust of the war between the Federation and the Klingon Empire is taking place.
Now, question is, are we basically going to get like ganked by some level 50 Klingon?
No, there's nothing like that in this game.
Okay.
The only PvP is in defined PvP zones.
Okay.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that even in the not really queued PvP maps, there isn't a direct conflict between you and the opposing faction. It ends up just being a competitive standard objective.
Mm. Yeah, I'll be right there. I took a second to clean out my inventory because I was running
no rush.
Fairly close to full.
And then you just overshot.
Did I overshoot?
Yeah. Not just going to open the map and click on the.
No, that's what I did.
So that you must have done something to.
Like I said, I was still.
Yeah.
I got a gun and I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
There it is.
I should probably clean things out here a little bit as well.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm ready whenever.
Yep, so let's travel to the Danatu system, where we have to take care of some true way ships. So it's going to become a much bigger deal in 20 levels when we actually reach that part of the plot. But so the True Way is a offshoot of the. It is basically a Cardassian terrorist organization, which is kind of ironic. But it is basically after the events of Deep Space Nine, Cardassia has become like good people, quote unquote, and the True Way are ones that want to go back to the way they were during Deep Space Nine.
I remember they were actually mentioned like offhandedly in an episode of Deep Space Nine that had absolutely nothing to do with them, which I always felt was kind of weird. But it's interesting that they kind of took that, at least the name, and ran with it.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. So they become a bigger deal. In fact, they Alright. Okay, whatever. I got a achievement for defeating Klingon ships by blowing up one of these Cardassians.
Well, Klingons are like Cardassians.
Yeah, they're similar. Another thing about the True Way is that they also ended up befriending the leftover Dominion forces that are within the Alpha Quadrant, and so they're just up to no good. That's not to say that all of the leftover Dominion forces are necessarily bad, but you don't really meet with any that are strictly nice, except for during another one of these featured episode series, and that's for a different reason.
Well, plus you are able to, in certain circumstances, get Jem'Hadar bridge officers, right?
Yeah, that is actually part of one of the featured episode series, which that was the bonus. That was the bonus reward, as I recall. Which was another thing about the featured episodes series. If you completed each mission in the featured episode series during the period of time that it was airing, so to speak. You got a bonus reward that wasn't part of the normal mission rewards, which tended to be a bunch of really cool things. For 2 of them, it was special bridge officers that you wouldn't be able to have gotten otherwise. I can't remember what it was for this one though. It was something. It was something kind of neat though. Actually, sorry. 3 of them gave you unique bridge officers, but I think for one of them it wasn't part of the. It wasn't actually the final reward. It was just a normal reward. But for 3 of the featured episode series, you can get a special, quote-unquote, non-canon bridge officer. And then the last one was, I think, just a, just like a device, which I think was this one. Anyway, so we blew up all the enemy ships, and now we're going to
we disabled this one, and we're going to go check it out.
Yep.
I wonder if we'll find Cardassians on board.
We're going to find something on board. Now we're going to fight our way through the ship to the bridge.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look, there's some Cardassians.
Okay, there we go. I was worried I might have some technical difficulties there.
Oh, whoops. That would have not been good.
Oh, there we go. It's going a little slow, but I think it's just...
yeah, this... It could just be that because, like, this area has...
Yeah, I think it's just like the area took a minute to load.
Oh, yeah, that could be it as well. But, I mean, like, this area is also a location that's kind of beat up. So the like the particle effects and stuff may be a little high.
Yeah, no, it was just a moment though, so cleared up. I can't recall any time that this game just kind of fell over and died on me.
Yeah, I can't say I've thought of parts where it have either, but the game can be finicky at times. I know there are a few areas where the basically the route mapping kind of breaks between, like, as you're walking through a door, so you can't actually shoot through the door because the game doesn't think that there's any pathing to the next area.
Yeah, and I've encountered a lot of things where my officers will just kind of not move.
Yeah.
And I've had to basically beam back up and redo it. But
so back when the game came out, there was basically the random missions in the basically the uncharted regions of space was not really, like, the missions themselves weren't really random. The Cryptic used a system called Genesis to basically generate a shit ton of these missions, and these were all hard. These all ended up being hard coded in the game. But what ended up happening is that because they were basically all machine generated, a lot of them had really weird ass bugs. And if any of them broke, they had to specifically find that one mission and then modify it in the database. And if they were doing something that changed, like, all of the missions, that was just a pain to try and track down.
Yeah, that sounds like a ton of work.
Yeah, so a lot of these missions had really goofy problems, like the terrain would just break. So often you would warp into, like, you would beam onto the planet, and your bridge officers would be underneath the mountain you landed on, and they'd be unable to get out.
Whoops.
Or, yeah.
Whoops, transfer
Whoa!
accident. We have just taken drugs.
What's going on here? Now, something weird has just happened on this ship.
Like I said, we just took some really nasty Cardassian drugs.
How could they do that?
Or really good, depending on how you're looking at things.
We need to investigate this strange occurrence now, which means we need to wait for us to get out of red alert. Oh, there we go. There's a weird dead Cardassian here.
Did he die from
He
us
has
shooting him?
Well, he has no wounds.
He didn't die from us shooting him. That is suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, well, we better get a med kit and find out what happened to him.
Probably died of old age or something. Because of temporal flux.
Oh, died of something. Whoa! Oh, wow. The heck was that?
Everything's going blue.
Investigate another dead Cardassian. Seem to have died from the same methods. Oh, there's a... But now we need to,
Use medkit.
Yeah, but we can't use the medkit just yet because we need to find out why all these Cardassians are dying.
I think I got one of those class-specific options because I could actually got some notes there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
It happens every now and then.
Yeah, oh that's handy.
Read patient records.
A lot of strange deaths happening on this ship.
Oh, maybe the Cardassian doctors just suck.
Oh yeah, that's also fully possible. Well, that's all the patient records. Now let's go and use the med kit again and see what we can find out. So basically, after we've read all the patient records, it then gives us all the things that we have seen, and the idea is supposed to be that you want to use one that is relevant to the way that the Cardassian died. Now, like, we know that most of these things occurred on Cardassians that had very overt signs of damage, but there was one that we saw that was talking about no known signs of injury. So we're going to use this Neuralite probe to look into his brain.
Yummy.
Oh, yep. And they said, hey, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
We're just gonna go onto this hostile alien ship and perform an autopsy on the floor of
A Cardassian ship.
whatever part of the ship this is.
Yeah. Oh, but it says that this Cardassian died from a radical decrease in neural energy. I wonder what could have caused that. Oh well, let's go to the science lab and search for strange energy signals that may have caused such a dramatic loss.
He was attacked by a mind flare. There's that
Oh,
cross.
I love.
There's that cross promotion with Neverwinter again.
Which one?
Oh, I said he was attacked by a mind flare.
Oh, yeah. I really like some of the options that you can choose here, like Omega Energy, and your bridge officer will just go, What are you talking about?
Shh.
What? you didn't see anything.
You saw nothing. I said nothing.
Yeah, like some of these are just goofy. Like you're looking for electroplasma. That's everywhere on this ship. You're looking for nuclear fission reaction. I mean, come on. No,
No
what we're
one
looking
uses
for
those.
is a triolic wave.
It's
Which
all
there
made up
happens-
science words to me.
Yeah, which there happens
Except
to be
nuclear
a lot
fission.
of.
That's a real one.
Yeah, that's a real one. There happens to be a lot of triolic energy. Whoa! Something else just ran out the hallway. But yeah, there happens to be a lot of triolic energy on the bridge, so we should track it down.
This sure would be a lot more tense without the calm, serene Star Trek background music playing.
Yeah. Oh, well, unfortunately, the mission objective has just spoiled the whole thing for us. The reason why there is triolic energy and all these weird blue lights is because there are Davidians on this ship. And Davidians are actually something that did show up in... they seem to be trying to shoot us, but I think this door has broken their pathing.
Ha ha.
We are invincible. So yeah, they actually have shown up. Oh, nope, there we go.
Nope, there they go. I was about to mock them too.
So Davidians have actually shown up in the series. I can't remember which one, but
I want to say next gen, but
yeah, well, what Davidians are certainly seems like something that would have to have been next gen or later.
yeah, they couldn't do it. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they could do that type of effect next generation, but they certainly couldn't have been.
Yeah.
The original
But
series.
what the Davidians are, they are basically like subspace aliens, and they are kind of weird. Becca, you might want to just fall back here a little bit because I got my shield generator up.
Yay! Cover shield.
Well, it's more of a quick shield regenerating item.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Uh-oh, he's trying to
So-
eat my soul.
Yeah, so the whole Davidian set is really cool because it's kind of in the mindset of it is like a monster movie, and these are ghosts out to get us.
So it is cross promotion with Neverwinter.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, it's like they feed on the neural energy of sentient beings, so they are basically mind flayers. Oh, and now he's trying to eat your soul.
Oh noes.
In fact, one of the items that you can get from doing this series is a item that does life drain in an area around you, which is actually really cool.
That kind of sucked. I think he just kicked my ass something fierce.
Let's try to get you back up then.
There we go.
Yeah,
Move
like
back and shoot it.
this enemy is actually really tough for when you would normally fight him. Like even when I was doing this with a high level character, like this is actually a pretty out of depth encounter.
But we beat him, even after I died.
Yeah. So now we need to access the bridge consoles and look up the logs. See, when these Cardassians may have come into contact with some Davidians.
Now I'm willing to bet in the original show they didn't beat them by shooting them.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
At least not with a normal gun.
There is one of the missions that is in this set gives you a pretty awesome gun. But we will talk about that when that mission comes up.
Yeah, it won't be too long.
No, it's like the next one or the one right after that. This ship seems to have come across some temporal events. I wonder why the Davidians would be interested in temporal events. But anyway, we should head back to the ship and let Mr. Drake know what was going on here. I don't know if they've ended up fixing this, but I don't think it occurred for this mission. But later missions in this series basically had you start from like either from K7 or from Drozana, which is where we're going to go to in the next mission, go to the area that the mission was coming from, and then you would have to go back to the station to report. They may have fixed that. Now this is going to be so in this mission, both of the options that you get from it are actually unique ones for this mission. And they both actually give something special specifically for specific for this series. Now, the shield is level bound, so the mark level of the shield is dependent on what level you are when you complete this mission. So I can come back later and redo this mission and get a higher grade shield.
Right.
Although that said, like even for now, that's a pretty good shield, especially since it reduces psionic damage, and psionic damage is what the Davidians are actually doing. On the other hand, the device that it gives is a straight up bonus to defense, and it gives a pretty severe negative rating to proton damage, but pretty much nothing in the game deals proton damage.
Yeah, proton torpedoes are Star Wars, not Star Trek. Except
for one weapon. So it's kind of goofy, but it's a ship item, so it's.
Now, can you repeat it? If you repeat it, you get to choose the item again?
Yep, if you repeat it, you get to choose the item again. So if you wanted to, because none of these things are... Well, the subspace field modulator is unique, but the shield is not. So if you wanted to go through and do this mission 5 times and get one of these shields for all of your officers,
you could.
All the power to you. Yep. So I need to actually...
That said, I just took the...
Yeah, I'm going to take the shield because I actually still have a generic shield.
Yeah, I took the modulator.
It's still a good modulator. Like that is still a very good item. And he's going to try to offer us the next mission, but we will do that one next week.
More adventures with Black Ops.
Yep. So that's going to be it for this week's episode. Well, thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all again next time.
Bye, everyone.